How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly wrestling chat here on CM42 TV. Hope everybody's doing well on this fine Tuesday. Big week in terms of the wrestling business. We had two pay-per-views within the last 7 days. We had WWE Super Showdown, which was controversial to say the least. I actually posted another wee extra episode to our weekly wrestling chat on Thursday. It's actually one of my most watched videos randomly of the year so far. So if you didn't see it, check it out. It's me sitting right here reacting to The Fiend versus Goldberg, which is going to be, match of the year, definitely. So it was me watching it live, no interruptions, nothing like that. Just me sitting here watching the show and watching that match and giving my honest, blunt live reaction to that and just trying to process kind of everything that went on. So check that one out. That was on Thursday. And then, of course, we had AEW Revolution on Saturday. Great pay-per-view, man. So good. It's so nice to see two different sides of wrestling. You see one show that's sort of full of negativity, and that happens sometimes, especially in wrestling. You get lots of negativity sometimes and things you don't really agree with, and some somewhat confusing booking strategies sometimes. But obviously there's always a plan. There's always a reason for things to be done. That's true though. There's always a reason for something to be done. There's always reasoning behind something, whether we agree with it or not, or whether it makes the most sense or not. I don't know. But it's nice to see when there's so much negativity and there's so much hate, the opposite side to that, when there's another show that's just awesome. It could be from the same company, it could be from a different company, a smaller company, whatever. It could be a local company. But when you get that total flip and you're just like, oh man, like I had such a horrible time on this day and now it's a lot of joy. It's like a football team or any sports team. One day of the week, if anybody knows what team I support, in this country, you'll know what I'm coming from here. On one day of the week, we get this amazing performance, and then at the other day of the week, it's this horrendous performance. It's trying to deal with that balance, but sometimes it's nice to get a wee break. Sometimes. So we had a sort of weird, kind of a weirdly received show on Thursday, then a really good, a well-received show on Saturday from me and from other wrestling fans, that sort of thing. I'm gonna need to stop looking at social media and that sort of thing, because I kind of miss having that kind of unpredictability and having that sort of you don't know what anything looks like and you don't know where the direction's going to go. It's nice to just kind of watch it, observe it for your own. But anyway, there's tangent number one of the video. So we had Revolution on Saturday, and I don't know, it was so much fun sitting there just watching a great wrestling show that you're kind of invested in, and lots of different sort of stories and that sort of thing. Hangman and Omega versus the Young Bucks is as good of a tag team match as you'll ever see. Just and I tweeted this as well. It's because they're all great pals. Obviously, they're just all best of friends. And then when you're wrestling your pals, your chemistry is just there. It's like acting with your pals. You can just bounce off each other. You just know the flows of how you're going to deliver the lines and how you're going to throw the moves and that sort of thing. So that match was unbelievable. And then you had Cody and MGF. Cody's entrance, incredible. I love it. Cody always has the most over the top big match entrance, and it just always pays off, and he always has the biggest, it feels the biggest matches anyway, and the match wasn't the greatest with MGF, but I still really enjoyed it, and I'm assuming we're going to get a big payoff at Double or Nothing in May, so I'm all for a rematch of that. Moxley winning the AEW World title is a big deal. I kind of called it. I predicted Moxley was going to win. It could have gone either way though. I didn't, I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho held it for years and years. But nice to, get a wee sort of refresher on the world title. Moxley's going to be an interesting world champion, and it'll be interesting to see if we get another rematch at Double or Nothing. That's most likely going to happen. Jericho versus Moxley, or you could maybe throw someone in there for a triple threat. I don't know. And it's most likely going to be Hangman versus Omega at Double or Nothing, which I'm not sure if it's the right move right now because of how popular Hangman is. Hangman was on that kind of lukewarm feeling, the summer of last year when he was going to be the first world champion. They were pushing him too much, and then they've let this character settle in and let this character develop, and he's just so good at this character. And now he's, one of the most over guys in the whole company, and arguably one of the best in the entire business. So I don't know if it's right to turn him heel, because no one's going to boo Omega, but right now no one's going to boo Hangman. Don't know what to do. And also on the subject of booing, how great of heels are the Young Bucks going to be when the day comes that they officially turn heel? My God, they're going to be amazing. Anyway, the main focus of this video was I kind of want to talk about WWE and WWE's main kind of problem right now. I don't like to think about all the negativity around wrestling that often, but it's nice to kind of go on here once a week and kind of chat about it. It's kind of like airing my grievances, I guess, and just kind of talk things out, whether it be good or bad, talk things out and just what I'm thinking about wrestling, that sort of thing. It's great tweeting it, but it's nice to kind of talk it and sort of is like quite therapeutic actually. But WWE's main problem right now is their inability to make real main event stars, and I know everybody says that, and I know you can hear that in so many YouTube videos and so many podcasts and so many websites all around the world. But I guess I kind of want to give my spin on it, I guess. But WWE, obviously, with the whole Goldberg thing, Goldberg winning the title, he's going to be wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Great. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be this big spectacle anyway. It's going to add a lot of intrigue to the show. It's another big sort of star power for WrestleMania this year. You have Edge versus Randy Orton. Great story. More star power to the show. Lesnar versus Drew. My God, that's a dream match. You got Cena and Bray Wyatt. Great. It's going to be a good story for WrestleMania. But then you look at Raw the next day and how many people are actually going to be there. Brock might be there, doubt it. So you got McIntyre will be there, and then you got Bray Wyatt will be there, and then you've got, Randy Orton will be there, not Edge. What was the other one I said? Feckin', what's his name? Roman Reigns is obviously going to be there, not Goldberg. And you get your Kevin Owenses and your Seth Rollinses and all these people who are going to be there, and then you've got your part-timers. And I don't know how I feel about the part-timer reference being looked in a negative light. I don't see anything wrong with someone being a part-timer, especially when you can bring something to the company. Another one, Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Great, it's going to be a big story, WrestleMania spectacle. What a stacked card WrestleMania 36 is going to be with those 5 matches. But the thing that those 5 matches have in common is you've got your 5 constants, and you've got your 5 part-timers, you've got your 5 legends and that sort of thing. And that's fine for WrestleMania, it absolutely is. But then it feels like it's becoming on a bit of a circle right now. This is going to be the first WrestleMania since WrestleMania 24 in 2008 that Triple H has not got a match on. Yet, I doubt he will, but you never know. He's still got like 6 weeks or something. But instead of Triple H, we've got Edge or we've got Goldberg or whatever, which is fine, again, because those guys are legends, they're big names, they will bring a lot of buzz to the show. But my argument here is, I'm all for those matches, but it's almost like those matches are now a necessity for WrestleMania. We want to get to a point, we as, people in the wrestling business and people who love wrestling, we need to get to a point where we don't need to have these matches. These big spectacle matches for WrestleMania are spectacular matches, is that the correct term? I don't know. Matches that are spectacles. We need to get to a point where those aren't a necessity to the show. Yes, they come with the idea of WrestleMania. Yes, WrestleMania brings in those big names. But what we need to do is we need to create these big names. Roman Reigns is a big name, and he's wrestling Goldberg. Bray Wyatt has become a big name. Everyone's talking about The Fiend, which is great. Seth Rollins has become a big name because he's won the title a bunch of times. Beat Lesnar last WrestleMania, that's fine. Seth Rollins is a big name. Rey Mysterio is a big name. I'd like to think Kevin Owens is a big name, but is he to the, average fan? And you've got Randy Orton's a big name, of course, John Cena, all these people. But in terms of who have we tried to make this year, Kevin Owens is a babyface. That's working. Let's not give up on that. WWE has got a really bad track record at 1, getting bold at something, and 2, when plans get leaked and people start figuring out what's going on, they completely change everything, which doesn't need to happen. I made that point a couple of weeks ago here on our weekly wrestling chat. When people find out and kind of suss the story, doesn't mean the story needs to then be abandoned. Sometimes people are like, yeah, okay, I know what the story's going to be, give it to me. I'm ready for the story. It's like going to see, a remake of a classic film. When I went to see The Lion King last year, I knew what was going to happen. I knew that there was going to be a really heartbreaking moment in it. I know the animation is going to be great. Doesn't mean you need to change the whole story of The Lion King. I'll sit there and I will enjoy The Lion King for what it is. Obviously, wrestling's different. It's not going to, I'm not sitting here every Tuesday on CM42 TV talking about WWE. I'm not sitting here going, I know everything that Edge is going to do and everything that Roman Reigns is going to do, so then have to change everything. That's not the point. It's about sticking to certain things, committing to things, and making people stars out of it. Roman Reigns is a good example. They've stuck with Roman Reigns for all these years. He's main evented loads of pay-per-views. He's won the title. He beat, Brock Lesnar. He beat Undertaker. We have now a massive star. Hurrah! Congratulations. But we don't have a massive star in Kevin Owens. We don't have a massive star in Samoa Joe, which is crazy. AJ Styles is getting there. This is going to really help AJ wrestling Taker. And obviously, folk are going to want Styles to win. My only thing is, how is AJ going to Styles clash The Undertaker? How is Undertaker's not going to tap out? How is AJ going to... he could hit the phenomenal forearm, but is that really going to beat The Undertaker? And then people are going to look at this as a negative thing that AJ might and most probably will lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Let me tell you, that's not a negative at all. you know, just the fact you're in the ring with The Undertaker, you know, is a big deal. Look at CM Punk, look at Seth Rollins, look at Roman Reigns, all these people, just the fact they were in the ring with The Undertaker at some point made them a big deal. AJ Styles already is a big deal, and he's probably the best wrestler in the company, bar a few maybe. It's all changing these days. But, you know, it's not going to harm him at all losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. There's so many new stars that are great, and there's so many new people who we're going with. And then we seem to just kind of get bored of it and just go, do you know what, it's fine. When, if we continue doing this, they could have become big stars. For example, Ricochet, for example, getting so over, getting these, I don't like using these terms because I'm not in the business. But I guess I'm just using these terms because everybody knows what they mean. Ricochet was getting so popular, great reactions, kids love him, guys love him, girls love him, hits every demographic, always good matches. You know, let's go with him. And then after a while, we just kind of get a little bit bored. He goes up and down, loses to Lesnar in 30 seconds, then gets beat by Riddick Moss on Raw last night. I don't have an issue with him losing to Riddick Moss if you're going to make a star, but it's just a daft comedy match for the 24/7 title. Doesn't do either of them any good, especially Ricochet, who just had a world title match. So if he was like, okay, Ricochet, what are we going to do with him? Cedric Alexander started getting big reactions. He's a great wrestler. People started really believing in him. Really good mannerisms, really good emotion. You can really invest in his story, and it's just, okay, let's just, you know, we've given up on him. We'll let him recover later. When these could be really big stars we're making here. Buddy Murphy's another one. But I'm glad that Buddy Murphy is now with Seth Rollins because he's getting the rub, brother. Aleister Black I'm kind of scared for because they're doing a really good job with Aleister Black. Let's hope, you know, they don't just give up on that. Eric Rowan, not an Eric Rowan fan necessarily. The thing on Raw when the thing in the cage was a mad spider and people are raging about that. What else was it going to be? It wasn't going to be a person. It wasn't going to be a gimmick. It wasn't going to be a fucking urn or something. It had to be something daft like that. Don't know where it's going to go, but I'm worried for Eric Rowan. One that I really didn't like was Lars Sullivan. And I know I wasn't supposed to like him because he was a big bad heel, but he was also a mad racist, wasn't he? He was a mad racist, he was really homophobic and all that stuff, and it just doesn't seem like, obviously people make mistakes and stuff, but it just didn't seem like he was getting it, and they were going with him, and then he got injured, so now he's not been on TV for about a year. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. He was just one that popped in my head there. But there's so many, you know what I mean? Kevin Owens are doing a really good job for, you know, but the problem is WrestleMania season comes along and everything goes mental. Like everybody changes plans and everybody turns from heel to face and stuff. If this wasn't WrestleMania season, Kevin Owens would be going up to the, you know, would be one of the top stars in the company. But because there's so many other stuff and so many other layers for WrestleMania, he's kind of getting overlooked a wee bit, and he's still getting some of the biggest reactions. And it looks like he's going to be wrestling Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and that's going to be your wrestling match. There's always this sort of workhorse match for WrestleMania. Last year it was AJ and Orton. Last night, it was a couple of years ago, it was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. There's always this like sort of work rate match, and it's going to be Rollins and Owens this year, it looks like. Can I just also say how an amazing heel and how an amazing performer that Randy Orton is? We sometimes take Randy Orton for granted that he is this big star, he is this sort of future legend, all that sort of stuff. But still, like on Raw, that monologue and that promo he did for Beth Phoenix before he RKO'd her, this whole build to WrestleMania with Edge has been absolutely stellar. Randy Orton is arguably the best in the whole company because he has a full package. I don't know. He's so great. Randy Orton's the best. So WrestleMania is looking really, really good. It's looking like this massively stacked card. Orton and Edge, AJ and Taker, Roman and Goldberg, Cena and The Fiend, Edge and Orton, Rollins and Owens, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, like these big matches. Shayna Baszler and fucking Becky Lynch, that's going to be great too. Looks like we're going to get a big multi-man tag match. Don't know what we're going to do with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's another one. There was a time where Braun Strowman could have been the top guy in the company. We kind of got bored of him. We turned him heel because the Shield needed folk to wrestle and needed to beat a few folks, so they gave McIntyre, Ziggler and Strowman, when Strowman was the biggest face in the company, they put them against the Shield, and then we kind of gave up on Strowman. I'm sure we can bring him back and get him to that stage, but right now he's feuding with Sami Zayn, Cesaro and Nakamura, three of the best performers in the entire company, but we don't really know what they're doing because they're on SmackDown right now, and since SmackDown's gone to Fox, it has been a bit of a disaster. Not in terms of the ratings and the money and all that stuff, just the booking seems to be ridiculous. I don't know what the thought process on that show goes about, whereas Raw seems very structured and seems like we've got a plan and we're going somewhere, and SmackDown is the complete opposite. Don't know. But WrestleMania is looking ridiculously stacked. As always, I am buzzing for WrestleMania. But what my argument of today's video is, and what WWE's biggest problem is, we're failing to make these big stars, and we're relying too much on this nostalgia, we're relying too much on the same people making these special appearances for WrestleMania. Whereas 10 years down the line, The Undertaker, Goldberg and Edge will not be able to go to WrestleMania. We're going to need someone who is currently wrestling all the time on Raw or SmackDown or NXT to become the next Goldberg, Taker and Edge and Lesnar and Cena and all that, because we need to replace these big stars, you know. So yeah, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I always love to read the comments. I try to reply to 99% of them. Every so often we get a mad racist or homophobic comment and you get deleted. Delete! Matt Hardy! Matt Hardy's a free agent. Will he be the exalted one? I don't know. I hope so. I feel like it's been built up and it needs to be now. Will he be? I don't know. I'll be tuning into AEW on Wednesday to find out. But until then, thanks so much for watching. Remember, I'm on Twitter, always tweeting about wrestling, at CM42TV. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another new video, and I'll see you next Tuesday for some more wrestling chat right here on CM42TV. Cheers.